Super Saturday continues right here at Parramatta Stadium. Thank you for joining us live. Warren Smith, Greg Alexander, Matthew Elliott and Brett Kamali bringing you all the action tonight of this clash between the Eels and the Sea Eagles. Of course, Parramatta just 5 days ago were lapped by the South Sydney Rabbitohs at ANZ Stadium. It was a 50-point thrashing, and tonight they come here to their home venue to try and bounce back from their most dismal effort in recent times. Of course, they're taking on the Sea Eagles, who sit in second place on the NRL ladder, and here's how they line up.
Yeah, Brett Stewart at the back, Robertson and Hopawate on the wings line, and Matai in the centres. Foran and Cherry Evans, the halves. The Sea Eagles forward pack. Rose, Ballin, Kite, Watmo, Rodney and Stewart. The interchange bench with Rodney starting. Nullavow back to the bench. Lussick, Bura and Tony Williams.
Of course, Des Hasler back in the same dressing room, which he tore the door off its hinges here in round 1 of 2010. We take a look at the NRL ladder. Of course, the Melbourne Storm sit in the minor premiership position at the moment. 2 wins clear of the Manly Sea Eagles, but of course they still have to play each other in round 25, and who knows what might have happened between now and then. So the Sea Eagles still very much a chance to finish in the top position in the top 8 as we go back inside their dressing room. They're coming off a big victory last week over there at Brookvale. Next week they take on the Bulldogs, then it's the Storm, and they finish with the Brisbane Broncos. A couple of big clashes for the Sea Eagles on the horizon before we get to the finals in 2011. Stephen Kearney would have really been stung by what happened at ANZ Stadium just 5 nights ago. Luke Burt is their fullback. Ryan Morgan and Chris Hicks are the inclusions on the wings. Justin Horrow, Ben Smith, the centres there, of course. A halves combination of Hayne and Maguire. The forward pack is Manna, Keating, Moi, who's been very good in recent times. Hindmarsh, Lasalo is there. Rennie Matua is back, who missed the game against the Rabbitohs. The bench is Shackleton, Allgood, O'Hanlon, and Justin Paul, who is tonight playing game number 2, and he's come back in the NRL from a rather serious knee injury suffered the back end of 2010 on Monday night. The Eels were torn to shreds down their right-hand side.
Yeah, the right side copped a caning, didn't they? And that was Casey Maguire, Ben Smith, Taniela Lasalo. And we'll see what the left side of Manly can do to them this week. I think there'll be pressure on both sides because Manly's right side has been in outstanding form. Arguably the best combination in the game with Glenn Stewart and Jamie Lyon, also Will Hopawate, but they'll be tested on both sides of the ruck tonight, the Eels.
Matty, we know this Manly side, they are so professional. They just get through their work with such physicality as well. They'll be tough again here tonight.
They certainly will be, and if the Eels allow their halves to carry the ball like they did the South Sydney halves, as Brandy said, we could be looking at a cricket score, but you'd have to feel that it'd be some emotional response after the performance on Monday night. Especially here at home. We'll wait and see how they do respond in front of their home fans. Not a massive crowd waiting for them here at Parramatta Stadium. Shane Shackleton, though, he's ready for action. A few kangaroo hops as we go downstairs to the sideline, and Brett Kamali.
Well, if you talk about a man who's famous here, Des Hasler ripped the door off the dressing sheds. Tonight, his 200th game as a coach. No side represents the most what the coach does. As you guys spoke about, tough, disciplined, hard-working. Never missed a semi-final, has 1 premiership under his belt. Look for Manly to respond with a victory tonight. Parramatta, as a former player, they've won the toss, they've elected to kick off. That's a sign they're going to change their attitude and come here and play.
They were poor defensively on Monday night, so they will start in defence and try and set a tone, it would seem, here tonight against the team which sits second on the NRL ladder. Of course, with no Jason King in the side, Jamie Lyon will assume the sole captaincy for the rest of the season. Coming back to a ground he knows so well. It's where his career began. He brings out the Sea Eagles. For a clash against Parramatta. They've been very good on the road in recent times. Also the Sea Eagles. And a healthy portion of their fans have made their way west tonight to see Anthony Watmo notch up 200 games for the Sea Eagles.
Yeah, quite an achievement, isn't it, for Choco Watmo. He's been terrific this year for Manly. Great footwork. He'll play tough and does lead this Manly pack. And the physical approach that they bring to each game.
As the Eels come down the tunnel, Nathan Hindmarsh, who will lead them out once again, spoke of the embarrassment they felt, as the score just kept mounting against the Rabbitohs on Monday night. We'll see what sort of response there is from the 17 that will take the field here tonight. It's a bonus, Matic, getting Rennie Matua back because he has been good after, of course, serving out a 2-year drug suspension.
My word, he has been, and also the short turnaround for the other players who actually worked very hard on Monday night will also be a bonus for his inclusion in the team.
We certainly missed him in that effort against the Rabbitohs on Monday night. We are set for game 2 of 3. Here tonight on Bundaberg Super Saturday, Tony Archer, the more experienced men in the competition, along with Chris James tonight, our men in pink in charge of this one. It will be, as you heard, the Eels who will kick off tonight. There is George Rose, the man who will take the place of Jason King in the starting side tonight. Luke Burt with the kickoff. It'll go down to be taken by Kieran Foran, who gives it off, and they work it away out towards their 10-metre line through Brent Kite. They'll play it to Ballon. They come back to the left-hand side. Anthony Wadmo in game number 200. Gets an early touch. Always keen to put his hand up to get an early touch. Good run. Picks up 10+ metres and supplies a fast play the ball for Ballon to go to Rose. There are some big metres here in this first set of 6 for Manly. Ballon, they say, lost sideways and backwards, most importantly. And Shane Rodney it is who went up the columns. Kite again as he brings it back towards the halfway line. And they'll play it here on the last for Ballon. They work it back. The kick to come from Foran. Chris Hicks was going to play it on the full, then backed away and got a kind bounce. Brings it back out to play it just inside the 20. Good opening set with the ball for Manly.
Well, the crowd didn't like the call from the referees, but I think they got it right. And it was Matt Ballon who I think changed his mind halfway through it. He had hold of that football, changed his mind about it, but it dribbled out.
Moi coming off a game 2 weeks ago against Melbourne in which he notched up 250 metres. A massive effort for a front rower. As they work it from dummy half, Keating going quickly, picked off by his opposite number, Ballon. That was an important tackle because Keating had some metres in front of him. And he got past the front line there. Here's Robertson, who makes the catch. Thought about linking up there with Brett Stewart, but he'll hang on to it. And they'll work it away again from around about their own 20.
You'd have to say early on there's a lack of sting in defence from both sides. So unless things change, we could be looking at a hefty scoreline both ways.
And Stewart went to the line, had Rose coming with him, showed it, but hung on to it. And he'll play it here from just outside his own 30. There is Kite. Stopped there by Hindmarsh. Keating over the top and Moi underneath. Ballon works it back for Rodney. Gets a chance again in the starting side tonight. In game number 6 for the season for him after returning from a long-term injury. 4 and kicking out on the full. And Parramatta will get it back at the halfway line.
He doesn't make an error like that very often, Kieran Foran. Just the way he set up there, I think he was maybe angled towards the sideline a little bit too much because of the pressure from the inside from Parramatta. Forced him to change his angle just slightly, and that was enough to send it out in the full.
Here's Moi. Up there by Rose around the legs as Parramatta get their first attacking chance of the game. Keating going to Hayne, who put a bit of a shuffle on, takes the tackle of Ballon and also Kite. Here's Keating getting out of dummy half, going towards Watmo. Not much doing there. They'll play it about 25 metres away. They go back to the left-hand side. Here's Moi running towards Rodney, who hung an arm out. And there'll be a penalty for a high tackle. And we'll wait and see if Parramatta take the 2. They try and make another statement after starting in defence tonight. And maybe asking a question here of Manly's defence.
Well, it was a sloppy effort there from Shane Rodney, who was a very good defender. Just got himself in the wrong position. Moi a little bit too far away from his body, really, to put a shoulder in, and then hung an arm out. Not much in it, but penalty warranted.
They're going to take the 2 from pretty much right in front, and it's the rare thing that a team ignores the 2 points in this sort of situation these days, Matty.
Well, I guess in the circumstances, 2 points isn't going to be enough for them, but really encouraging to see Jared Hayne and Keating carrying the ball early in the game, something that they didn't do last week, which could show that they, their attitude is on this week.
Luke Bird makes no mistake. It is Parramatta. Lead here tonight, 2-0, 5 minutes gone. In the second of 3 games tonight on Super Saturday, Shane Shackleton there on the bench. He'll be a guest tomorrow night on the League Lounge on Fox Sports 2 and Fox Sports 2 HD. Brandy warming up with the hard questions to ask of the man they call the love shot. The Sea Eagles get us back underway. The kickoff goes down to Maguire. Here's Moylan. Not at full revs this time as he brought it back to Kite. And also George Rose. Ballon working up in defence as Keating works it out of dummy half. Lasalo set upon and driven back towards his own line. Manor. Better charge this time. They made heavy weather of their first couple of carries. Better run that time from Tim Manor. Here's Hayne going wide this time, but Tua out there on the edges asking a question there of Cherry Evans and also Jamie Lyon. But they have been solid on that right-hand side for Melbourne in 2011. Horro works it beyond the 40. And they'll kick it here on the last. A super strong boot of Jared Hayne. This one he just chips it down in no man's land. Stewart will wait for it to pick it up at his own 10 and brings it back. He had Hopewadi there with him, and had he popped a ball, it might have been half a chance there for Hopewadi. Jamie Lyon. Parramatta in front early here at Parramatta Stadium. Hopewadi. He really only has just more than a handful of games perhaps left in the NRL before a 2-year sabbatical. Rodney brings it forward, loses it, and Parramatta get another chance here in Sea Eagles territory. Lasalo has it.
A couple of errors now from Manly, bringing it out of their own end. Shane Rodney on the back of the kick from Kieran Foran gives the Eels a great start to their set, and they're winning that little battle of field position. 2/3 of it down this end.
Fui very slowly back to his feet. Wasn't happy about something in the tackle. Luke Bird's pass goes to ground. They will say it was touched in attempting the tackle there by Michael Robertson. And Parramatta will hang on to the ball.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a fortunate thing too, because Luke Burke gets that pass away to Chris Hicks, who was unmarked.
We're going to come. Hang on, Jamie. We're going to come to every decision we make.
No, the other one, mate. What is
subtleties there, Brandy. What I'm also noticing is that Parramatta have got a lot more support for the ball carrier than Manly do at this stage. So again, some really early signs for Parramatta that they're heading in the right direction.
They win the scrum. And here's Justin Horro to work it forward. Oh, took a chance there, but Keating did well to give it to Matua, who tries to get to the outside of Lyon, who did well himself to wrap him up just outside the Manly 30.
Doesn't that look like a great battle on the out that side of the field? Already they've come together a couple of times. Some strong defence both times too that Rennie Matua's run the ball from Jamie Lyon.
off the net to grapple. You can't hold that and work him around.
Jamie Lyon wasn't too happy about a couple of calls in the lead up of this possession for Parramatta, and I doubt that he'd be too impressed about a grapple tackle penalty being awarded here. You see the left arm there of Kieran Foran wrapped around the chin of Tim Manor as he went to ground. And if they took the 2 points the first time around, there's no reason to suggest they wouldn't take it second time around, which is exactly what they will do.
A little bit of a mugging here at the moment, perhaps, with Manly not anticipating Parramatta coming out with the amount of enthusiasm and teamwork they are at the moment.
Lack of the usual intensity you see from the Sea Eagles, and the 2 points kicked a moment ago were the first points scored in a first half of football against the Sea Eagles in the last 4 games. And Luke Burt will try and increase the lead here to 4.
Well, it's been the perfect start from the Eels. They've been able to get through all sets, 6 of their sets. They've added 2. It'll be 4.
Again, he splits the uprights. It's Parramatta early on. The ascendancy against the Seagulls, 4 points to 0. Headphones are off at the moment for Desi Hasler-Matt, but I have no doubt he'll be working overtime in a moment if this intensity level doesn't lift a little bit from the Seagulls.
Better get to the ground staff and get those doors sewn on a little heavier in the change rooms, perhaps.
Going the extra heavy Dynabolts tonight, just to make sure there are no issues perhaps after the game, as Moi brings it back out to the 20. He offered to fix the door from last year, Desi. Never heard back from the Eels.
Could be a 2-for-1 effort then.
We'll wait and see as Manor plays it. Here's Hindmarsh going towards Glenn Stewart, who wound up looking for a shot. He bounced off the shoulder. Enough to take him to ground as Keating jumps out of dummy half again. He's been keen to go tonight from that position. And really put it to the Manly markers. Here's Manor going back at one of them, Glenn Stewart. He did well to get across and make the tackle. Stewart comes up to the front line to put the kick in. He lobs it over the head there of Hopewadi, and Stewart, and it will only just go dead.
It was a nice strike from Luke Burke. Got the backspin when it first hit the grass there, but it just trickled over the dead ball line. Let's see if Manly can get through their set. So far completed only 1 of their 3.
Hopewadi it is to get this set of 6 underway as they go to the right-hand side for Rodney. He works it up towards Matua and also Horo. Couple of penalty goals, the difference at the moment now. A poor pass from dummy half. It looks to be perhaps a lack of talk out there amongst the Manly forwards around the play the ball. Nobody's sure where it was going to. Cherry Evans decides to kick early in this tackle count from inside the 40, but doing well. Luke Burt positionally was shading that left-hand side of the field and got to it on the full and brings it back out to around about his own 30.
A good ploy by Cherry Evans, because I think he realised that they are flat. Let's get it out of there before we make another mistake in our own end. There is a real smell of, I'll let my mate do the job about the Manly effort so far. Looked up to pass the ball. No one wanted to hit it up, and that was tackle too.
During the week, no doubt the words, don't take them lightly. It's a danger going past the lips of at least a couple of Seagulls, and once you sort of start talking about it,
knock on Manly.
Infectious.
Knock on Parramatta.
Knock on here by Parramatta's let them off the hook for the moment, but the headphones are on now, and Des Hasler would have been perturbed by what he saw in the last set of 6 when they had the ball.
Yeah, well, Cherry Evans forced to kick on tackle 3 as we look at the ball. Fui gets his arms in there. There's a little knock on from Casey Maguire.
Well, the first ray of light for them in some good field position, so let's see if they can play some better footy down this end of the park.
If they do break out of a slump in a game, usually it's the likes of Anthony Watmoe who gets them going in the right direction in a hurry. We'll wait and see if the man playing game number 200 tonight for the Sea Eagles can make a statement perhaps in this set of 6. Here is Kite. And pops a ball out the back. It went straight to Cherry Evans. He looked to link up there with Kieran Foran, who, as ever, was pushing up, staying alive on the play. They're just outside the Parramatta 30 as it comes to Foran now. Finds Watmoe, but wasn't much happening there. They set it up for Hindmarsh and others to swamp him in defence. Now Rose will step off the right foot to take it inside the 20. They've got 2 plays left in this set of 6. Ballon looking to the left, but he goes right towards Cherry Evans. Out the back, Stewart gives it to brother Glenn. It was almost slow motion before Jamie Lyon got them going in a hurry. He took some stopping as well. He's only 5 metres out when he plays it. Here's Cherry Evans grubbering, looking for Watmoe, but he picks out Taniela Lasalo, and Parramatta come up with it inside their own 20.
Yeah, it looked like a new play there on the right there. Jamie Lyon back down the centre. You're right, was before he got the ball, it was slow motion, but there was some problems over on the left where normally it's like clockwork, this left-hand side. There was confusion in their set play through that one.
Here's Matua, the player. And now Glenn Stewart, not out too early from marker, according to the referees. He has been tackled, and Luke Bird will play it. Now Keating. He catches them out of marker. George Rose came with a shoulder, then Casey Maguire linked up with Keating, but he put it down as well, and here come Manly again. Oh, Brent Kite buckled awkwardly there in a tackle, and there was a look on his face for a moment that suggested he might have had an issue.
Gee, another real concern for Manly. Pick it up later.
Matai giving it off to Hopewadi, who brushes past Jared Hayne. And in cover, Ryan Morgan picked him up with some help from Keating, and he gives away a penalty in the process.
I was about to say another real concern for Manly's defence off the back of the quick play. The ball, Keating out of dummy half again. The pass to Maguire went to ground, which really let Manly off the hook. Very sluggish around the middle of the ruck. There's Keating. He has Kite reaching, couldn't make it, and then really a pressure ball to Maguire. And here's Hopewadi. Great footwork to get himself through that Manly defence, earn his side a penalty.
Here they are, 10 metres out as Rose gives it back to, and it comes to Foran. Stewart, 2-on-2, running towards the corner. He loses it. Good defence by the outside men for Parramatta. They had their hands full there with Stewart looking to link up with Robertson. And they've combined for so many tries for the Seagulls over the seasons. As he came towards Ben Smith, you see him just lose the ball. He was thinking about passing, thinking about going. And in the end, the Eels hang on their own line again.
Important set coming for Parramatta. They've got to convert their early dominance into some field position. The last two sets have been great sets, but finished with errors. And if you keep opening the door to this quality side like Manly, you're going to invite them back in over the try line.
They've done well so far, and certainly much better defensively than they managed against the Rabbitohs just 5 nights ago at Homebush. Nana running towards Rose. Good tackle there from George. He hit and he stuck. He drove him back towards his ball. Now Moi running at Kieran Foran. He punches well above his weight defensively. He makes a good stop on the front rail. Come to Lasalo. Of contact there, Matai driving in. And so there was Anthony Watmo. They've used up 4 plays as they come back to the middle of the field. Hindmarsh running towards Cherry Evans, who, in fact, it was Shane Rodney who did well underneath him. And I'll kick it here again. You'd imagine through Hayne from inside the lane 40. He takes it towards the sideline, and Stewart, I don't know exactly what happened there, but he might have got fooled by the flight of the ball as it dipped as it came towards him. For a moment, he might have been thinking, boy, it might slide across the sideline, but it stayed straight. Now, Madai's pass goes to nobody. Hicks will pick it up. He beat Foran. Matai is there, and Robertson can't stop him either. Hicks scores for Parramatta.
Molly, tackle 1. Let's make sure that the Parramatta guy hasn't interfered with the Manly defender.
Well, he didn't look like he did. The ball from Steve Matai from dummy half missed everyone, and it missed the most important person. That was Michael Robertson, who was the intended receiver. The ball's on the ground. There it is. Misses it. It looked like he'd overrun it. Chris Hicks did a great job, not just to pick the ball up, but to stay in the field of play. Gets through Kieran Foran. That's a bad miss. Then over the top of Steve Matai. He's deceptively strong, Chris Hicks, and then the 2 Manly players just don't get the push right. Robertson, Matai, and then it looks, well, Kieran Foran actually pushes Michael Robertson off Chris Hicks.
That's a try.
It's all okay. We'll get the green lights here from our video referee tonight, Sean Hampstead. And Parramatta extend their lead. Not quite 18 minutes gone. It's the Eels, 8-0.
Well, we saw it coming, and that's the second time a pass has gone to no one. This time a Parramatta player swoops on it and gets the greatest reward you possibly can with a try.
He did well to swivel out of that, but Steve Maddie, the go one way and then the pass back the other way, I think you'd leave that to the more experienced dummy halves. The number 9s can get that wrong plenty of times. So Steve Maddie looking to go open, then flick it back to down the short side to Michael Robertson, who had overrun the footy anyway, was always going to be, I think, a risky play.
He didn't just miss him. He didn't even get an air swing at it. It was a complete miss.
Well, we're not even 20 minutes into the game. The Eagles have come up with 6 errors already. Des Hasler wouldn't be happy with that through a half of football and possibly even 60 minutes.
I have grave concern for the door down in the dressing room once again. The way this is going. Here is Burt swinging it back. It will stay inside the right hand upright. It's 10 points to 0. That's correct. 10 points to 0, Brett.
Yeah, that's right, guys. You guys are saying that Manly, poor body language, poor execution. Well, I can tell you, there is not one bit of talk down here on the football field. They're quiet. They're off the game. Parramatta might catch it.
Cherry Evans with the restart. It goes down to Maguire. Here is Moi Moi. He brings it back out again, not quite at full steam. He almost made it to the 20-metre line. Joe Nullarbor is out there as Des Hasler makes the first of his changes to his forward pack. It's George Rose for the moment, who is getting a breather. Parramatta bring it back just outside their 30 through Hindmarsh. Gives it to Moi Moi. Bit more of a head of steam up there. He lost the ball though, and Manly have it. They'll say a knock-on against Moi Moi and then touched by Manly before it came back to Matt Ballin. But they've invited them back into the game here if they're good enough to score points in this next set.
Same error from Fui twice now in the game, and really his teammates don't need that early in the tackle count in that field position.
Bind Fui.
4 of 8 completed sets for Manly. 9 of 12 for Parramatta. It's a stunning comparison, that little stud right there. And here they are from just outside the 40, and Cherry Evans will play it for Stewart. Nullarbor, fresh man on the park, trying to get them going. Play it for Ballin. It goes to Rodney, making it forward to Moi Moi. Mano was also there, and so was Keating. Got him onto his back as well to slow down the play. The ball is forward, touches the line, gives it off to Brent Kite. He's about 15 metres away when he'll play with 2 plays left. They stack the numbers on the short side. Foreign for Watmo. He took a shot in delivering the pass as well, the 5'8". They were good on their own line. Parramatta to stop Watmo there. Here's forward again, going to Cherry Evans. We'll kick it out wide for Hopewati. Up against Ryan Morgan, who makes a very good catch. Jamie Lyon appeals for a knock on as he came back to the ground. But the referee says there was no error there, and Parramatta have it through horror.
Well, that's the best set Manly have put on the field so far. They look good down the left-hand side. Stacked it a couple of times. Brent Kite, Anthony Watmo hitting the leg line. As Jared Hayne brings it out almost to the 20.
They've used up 4 plays to get it to this point. Now they go back to the left-hand side for Matua once again to come head-to-head there with Jamie Lyon. As Mitch Allgood comes onto the field for Taniela Lasalo. It will be an attempted spiral punt. Didn't strike it all that cleanly, Jared Hayne, but he still went at this part of 45 metres on the fly. And Michael Robertson has it in pretty good position. Fui Moi Moi getting a breather midway through this first half. It's the Eels with a double-figure lead. We would have predicted that, given what we saw just 5 nights ago. There's none of that. Brings it back to the 40. One time Eel plays it. Ballin, Cherry Evans showing it, giving it to Lyon. They came up too early. Parramatta, Cherry Evans for the corner. Grabs Manly's first try of the night. They paid the price for coming up too quickly. Parramatta on that left edge, taking a dummy from Cherry Evans. They got the ball back, and he went the rest of the way.
Well, for the entire half of this game of football, they've been really disciplined in their defensive line, and one guy comes out of the line and they pay the ultimate price. And it was Jared Hayne, their star player, unfortunately, and Cherry Evans, who started the play, finishes it off in fine style.
Well, we've got some great young players in the game, but I don't think anyone has had the season, the rookie season, that Daly Cherry Evans has thrown in this year. He has been outstanding. Beautiful dummy. Nicely timed pass there to Jamie Lyon, who did well and threw it to the man that started and initiated the movement.
I don't know what he's earning at the moment, Cherry Evans, but it will be a lot more in the seasons to come, because if you've got a halfback, they come at a premium, don't they?
I think everyone at the halfway through last year kept thinking, well, gee, Manly, how can you let Trent Hodkinson go? But the Manly officials, Des Hasler and anyone from Manly you wanted to talk to about Cherry Evans, they said, well, we think he can handle it straight up. They've struck gold twice. They let one go and then brought this kid in who's, geez, a talent.
It was a big call. It's worked out well for them. Jamie Lyon from the sideline, from the inside of the upright. After a tough old day with the boot last week, he brings the Sea Eagles back within 4. The Wolfman still watching on from the sideline, perhaps back next week after being out for a couple of weeks now with a hamstring injury. Maybe a bit happier about things back there in the Manly dugout in the last couple of sets. Here they are, through Blackheart. Bring it back out towards the 20. It's a try apiece at the moment. The difference, the 2 penalty goals kicked by Luke Burt in the opening minutes of the game. Tony Williams is out there now for Des Hasler. He plays it out to 20. He's weaving in traffic once again, and he gets 10+ metres once more. Shane Rodney, who's been given a breather with Williams coming on for the time being. Nullavow brings them back out to the 40. Good set off the back of points for the Sea Eagles. Cherry Evans from just outside the 40-metre line. A terrific strike. It'll go down to Morgan. He's under the high ball not that long ago. Bounces off the shoulder there of Glenn Stewart into Jamie Lyon, who might have hurt his left shoulder or left arm there in that tackle. It was an awkward contact as Morgan bounced off one player into the other. Now Horrow. Not much happening for him there. Left arm was hanging a bit limp, and you see Lyon again just hanging it out there from his body. We'll wait and see how he fares in the next few sets of 6. All good to play it. It goes to Maguire. Here is Shackleton. Fresh on the park. He'll play it back at the halfway line. He's catching his breath is Jamie Lyon as Burt's kick goes down the middle, straight to Hopewadi. He broke into the origin scene this year for New South Wales before being injured. He comes back there and stops as he came back to the defence. He's already had some hamstring issues this year, and well, something definitely is wrong with him there.
He's walking off. He's coming off the field immediately. So William Hopewadi, who finished the game against the Roosters last week with ice on that hamstring. They said it was precautionary, but there is certainly something wrong there. No, he's gone back out in the field.
Well, he was coming straight from the field. He pulled up like he'd not quite been shot, but like he'd hit a wall when he came back on that kick return. For the moment, they'll send him back to the right wing, and Stewart is almost away. He'll play it here just outside the 30. Matua could have easily been penalised right there. Darcy Lussick comes on for Des Hasler as the kick goes towards Hicks. He'll do well to stay in the field of play, which is exactly what he does.
Just turned his body at the right time there, Chris Hicks. The chase just not able to get there right on time. It was a pretty well positioned kick, very close to the try line. Hicks did a great job. Nice shot there from Matai, but he's going to be penalised for it.
Well, I was going to say, Matty, Parramatta have no field position here for an early spread to test out William Hopewadi, but now they'll have a bit of field position. And you'd be stunned if they didn't go to the left-hand side here straight away to test out the wing.
Well, it is Jared Haynes' favourite side, but I think a locker room door call must have gone out because Manly have reinvigorated after that try, and they have the ascendancy at the moment.
Well, it's all good who gets this set of 6 underway for Parramatta and then loses the ball. And their impressive completion rate to begin the game has evaporated in the last 5 to 10 minutes of this one.
Well, claiming a little foot in there, and it was, but it was Mitchell Allgood's fault. He put it on the foot of the Manly player, Matt Ballin.
Well, they set the scrum. Let's go downstairs to Brett Kamali, who has news, Brett, on William Hopewadi.
Yeah, it was an injury that he picked up very early in the match. It looked like he took a knock to his knee. The trainer's been out there 3 or 4 times now, and as you saw, he wanted to come off, but gets told to stay out there for now.
Des Hasler has the luxury of having Tony Williams, who now plays in the forwards, but again, his career, of course, on the wing for Manly at his disposal. Should he need him out there on the right-hand side? We'll have to see how Hopewadi fares in the next few sets of 6. He remains out there for the moment as it comes to Kieran Ford at first receiver. He goes out the back. Stewart trying to get away from Ben Smith, who did very well. There was all sorts of drama brewing there for Parramatta had he not made that tackle. There's Ballin turning it back on the inside for Lussick. Bit of line speed there for the Eels. 10 out from the Parramatta line are Manly. Here's Ballin on the wraparound. Going to Watmo, giving it to Cherry Evans. It went past him. Had he taken the pass, he strolls in to score. It came to Jared Hayne, who'll get a penalty. Glenn Stewart giving one away, getting tangled up with Jared Hayne.
I just want him to get up.
They're a pass away there, and Anthony Watmo can't believe it didn't go to his support player on the outside.
Opportunity there missed from Manly. Ballin, Watmo, just in front of Cherry Evans. Jared Hayne did well to clean things up pretty quickly. There's a lot of Manly players around the football. There's a big tackle by Ben Smith out here. Penalties, as we see, 4-1. Ben Smith, when you come out of the line, you need to make contact, and he did on Brett Stewart. Stewart was hit the ground and was able to keep going, but he did enough to slow things down. It was a real dangerous situation for the Eels.
Yes, especially when it's Stewart. Here's Lasalo. Brings it back into Manly territory. Parramatta have been here, given their error rate in their last few possessions. Maguire to play it for Keating as it goes across to Burt. Here is Hayne, will put a kick in. Chasing through is Morgan. There's a race on now. Stewart wins it, but only just. He got there in time to take it out of play, but it was a beautiful kick by Hayne for Morgan.
Yeah, it was a terrific kick. Great kick, a lot of pressure on Manly there. Good set from the Eels after being under the pump for the last couple of minutes. Judged it perfectly, but Stewart was well positioned and able to beat Morgan to the football. But they do get a result, and we'll get another set.
Before the line, mate. Before the line.
Very handy having a fullback of that speed, isn't it?
Stay behind!
Save the day for them.
It looked as though he was odds against to get there. The kick found the space as Allgood charges back. He was met in a good tackle. It was Darcy Lussick as well. Certainly has proven he's a good defender in his time in first grade. Here's Shackleton playing it for Keating as it goes to Hindmarsh. He'll take it forward for a settler to work it inside the Manly 10. And they've got 3 plays from close range to try something on here. Here's Hayne going to Matua. They'll go to a play right now. Burt, what a ball for Ryan Morgan. He scores in the corner. It was a terrific play by Parramatta.
Well, it was a terrific set. Gee, a lot can be said for running hard. Allgood, Shackleton, Hindmarsh, 3 to the centre of the field. A great set play to the left-hand side, and the ball from Luke Burt was absolutely brilliant. Here comes Allgood. There's the first. Shackleton thought he'd wind up and do the same thing, taking Manly backwards. That got them in good position. Then a beautifully rehearsed set play. Matua, second man, out to Burt. The quick hands from Burt was beautiful, and it hit Morgan on the chest. He didn't have to slow or hesitate his run, and that allowed him to get into the corner, even though Brett Stewart was flying across.
He's a fantastic footballer, isn't he, Luke Burt? That's wonderful skill.
Comes off the drop out, of course. Forced by the speed of Ryan Morgan. Stewart had no option but to take it out of play, and then after the charge by Allgood got them back into terrific position very early in the set of 6. They worked it forward to a midfield situation. Hindmarsh took the settler, and then after that, the play was very well executed to that left-hand side, wasn't it? Now Luke Burt has struck them nicely so far to once again make it a 10-point lead. Just on 7 minutes remaining in this first half. Trying to bring it back. It will stay outside, but at 14 points to 6, Parramatta once again a bit more comfortable, Brett, as we go downstairs to the sideline.
Yeah, I saw good signs there of Jared Hayne now becoming a 5'8" and a smart player. Kicking behind William Hopewadi to get the line drop and then go back there with the set play. Hopewadi was caught out with the Luke Burt pass. Too slow, couldn't get there.
Jerry Evans with the restart once again. The lead is 8 for the Eels. There are some teams in the top half of the top 8 at the moment cheering this scoreline. One of them, of course, is Melbourne. An action tonight against the Titans. The Shackleton plays it at the 20. Goes to Matua. Brings it out towards Nullavow and also Ballon, who makes tackle number 22 in this first half. Despite the short turnaround and all the work they did defensively, some of it not so great, of course, in the loss to the Rabbitohs, the 50-point loss, mind you. The Eels have had plenty of energy tonight. It's amazing what a bit of motivation, but a bit of embarrassment will do for a team, and they've been good here tonight. They lost their way midway through this first half, but they've hit back and hit back well.
Probably a fair indication of how the first half has gone too, the 8-point break between the two teams. The Eels finding a lot of space right up the centre of the field on their kicks. Brett Stewart either guarding the left or right. He's not standing centre field, and the Eels have picked up on that. Jared Hayne and Luke Burt both just nailing them straight down between the posts there. That one running good, but certainly plenty of ground.
I don't think they'd be too disturbed about it going dead, Brandy. It was a 70-metre game.
Jerry Evans spins in the tackle. Keep it alive through Watno over the head. A real speculator there. It could have gone anywhere. To Chris Hicks perhaps again to run away and score another try. It's Matai who has it though. They'll take it forward on play number 5. A juggle by Watno. Cherry Evans defend and gives it to Hopewadi. We don't know that he was too keen on getting it. He'll play at 5 on his own side of halfway. Now Cherry Evans under pressure. A kick from the sideline position had him struggling. All the way to Luke Burt, who plays it off a boot, and that helped Manly limit the metres that he will bring it back. And he'll play it just inside his own 30. Taken to ground heavily there by both Cherry Evans and Glenn Stewart, and he gets up smiling at that duo.
Starting to see a little bit of old Manly defence here. They're very meek the way they started the game. And just as I say that, the Eels bust a tackle through Horro.
Now coming down the short side. Matua just about away. Grabbed by Hopewadi, who did well. But big metres for the Eels down that left-hand side. Here's Hindmarsh. Going to Maguire. He goes over the top. Matai slides. It goes to Smith. And Matai makes a good tackle. Last play. Hicks will feed it back. Not a great ball from dummy half. Maguire, though, has time to compose himself and put it up. Nobody contesting, and in fact Hayne gets there late and takes it on the full. Then he chips it over the top. Hopewadi will get back there, and he stays in the field of play once again under pressure from Morgan. Here's Cherry Evans. They'll hold him up. He could have kept him on his feet. There was a big chance to drive him back into the in-goal area. They've used up 2 plays. Here's Robertson. He's tackled number 3, and he's 5 out from his own line. They go to the left-hand side. Come across to Williams. He does well to bring it almost back out to the 20. Matai, you would imagine, would take a settler from dummy half for the next best thing. He gives it off to Lussick, but they'll be kicking here from around about their own 20-metre line. Jerry Evans from just outside it again. Under pressure, this time from Lasalo. Burt gets it on the bounce and brings it back and goes straight past the chasers.
Great footwork, Luke Burt there. Little left foot shuffle, the penalty.
Get out of the ruck.
The frustration from Manly. after allowing Burt to run so far on the kick return. I'll turn down the 2 and keep the pressure on.
Warren, did you say this was second against second last?
Yes, it is. I said there was a gulf between them on the ladder and a gulf between them as far as recent performances.
Well, one team's playing with a heap of cohesion and one's not. The one with the cohesion's in the blue at the moment.
The team that got lapped 5 nights ago. Here they are again. Hindmarsh playing it from where they played it last time they scored. Maguire, good hands to pick it up. Shoulder charge attempt there from Tony Williams, 5 metres out from his own line. Could have led to tears. Here's Bird. What a ball! Smith goes through the hole but drops the pass.
Knock on. No advantage.
It was a terrific ball by Luke Bird.
No advantage.
And Smith had it and lost it.
Yeah, great flat ball by Burt. Little face ball. Outside in run Robertson and come off his wing to make the tackle, and it's Robertson's work that has forced the ball out of the hands of Ben Smith, who looked like he was just about to score a try. All he had to do was fall over. Great work from the Manly winger.
Let's go in. Let's go in. Heads in.
Another bullet dodged. Wow.
Stay in it, Luke. Stay in it. Ball in. Out.
It was almost as if the ball just disappeared between Ben Smith's sizable hands. He had it, was about to put it down. Robertson's last-ditch effort knocked it from his hands. Now inside the final 60 seconds of this first half. I'm guessing that half-time couldn't come fast enough for Des Hasler. Watmo, a bit of a wrestle there with Keating. Seagulls appealing for a penalty. Jamie Lyon pushing up in support there, trying to put pressure on the referee, saying he's holding him down too long, sir, as Watmo playing more in the middle of the park at the moment with Tony Williams out here on this left-hand side. Comes back to Stewart. He loses the ball, and Parramatta might have one crack at them if they can stop the clock here and form a scrum as we tick inside the final 10 seconds. And it's time back on. Casey Maguire had a little sneaky look, and that'll cost Parramatta any chance of having one last shot at them. And his teammates aren't too impressed. He made a blue there, no question about it. The referee was within his rights to blow time back on as we go downstairs to Brett Kamali.
Well, congratulations, Parramatta. Half a game of football is completed. I'm interested to see how Manly go. 2 weeks ago against the Tigers, I saw signs of panic, frustration, and they struggled when behind. What did Manly do the second half?
We will find out after we take a break and come back to look at all the highlights from the first half. It's the Eels on top here on Bundaberg Super Saturday, 14 points to 6.